and I'm not even joking. I can't stop thinking about A Court of Silver Flame. Do I dare get into Gwynreal right now? Hello everybody and welcome back to another reading video. I am hoping that this one can be extra comfy cozy. We're doing rereads because I am in an insane reading slump when it comes to new books, which honestly that's fine. I was in this golden era for a while and I kept thinking, this is so surreal. How long is this gonna last? Well, it has ended. Honestly, it's okay because I love a reread. I think that's one of the main reasons I love books is because I can find stories that I want to revisit over and over and over again. So that is what we're going to be doing this week. I don't know if we're gonna finish these. I don't know what's gonna end up happening. It'll be a fun surprise for all of us. But I'm currently midway through each of these. So first of all, we have my favorite book of all time, Little Women. I love this book, and when I'm not reading it, I'm so fond of it still. I tell people it's my favorite. But when I am reading it, it never ceases to surprise me how hyperfixated I become. I always think, oh, I love this book in a classics way. No, I love this book in a soul-deep, all-consuming type of way. I am the youngest of 4 kids, and the way this portrays being a youngest child and having all your siblings watch you grow up when they're older and they have to watch you go through the messiest, most vulnerable parts of your life, that is so real. Don't even get me started on her characterization, okay? So many times in literature, we get the golden retriever character or the black cat character, but what about the black cat who wants to be seen as a golden retriever? You know what I'm saying? They project themselves as a sunshine, happy person. That's how they want to be seen, but they feel things so deep. That is why I love Amy. I think she is a rare jewel, and the most beautiful thing about it is that all of the sisters have that insane depth. They feel so real. They each bring something different to the story, and so many women can relate to them in different ways. It's beautiful, honestly. It came out in 1868, and it is still this relevant to women today. I'm gonna have so many thoughts about that. Also, this is the Page Classics version. It just came out, and it's my favorite of all time. But I am also reading Heir of Fire because I am annotating my way through this entire series, and I'm just I'm scribbling my heart out in these books, and I'm having the time of my life. And of course, this is just my favorite fantasy series of all time. Not quite my favorite book though. That would be Queen of Shadows. And also because I'm insane, I'm reading ACOMAF. Mostly I'm listening to the audiobook. My agenda for the week is to enjoy the fandom, soak it all in, annotate Heir of Fire, and just read slow and feel happiness in my cold dead soul. Hello guys, it is now Friday. I did go up to Snowbird yesterday, as you have seen. It was so lovely and peaceful. I had the best time. While I was lifting weights, I just kept thinking, I want to be cutting the ribbon with a sword. I don't want to be lifting weights. I'm grateful that that's like kind of an equivalent, but I just want to do Valkyrie training. If you're ever in Utah or you need a fun trip, I cannot recommend Snowbird more. It is just this magical, atmospheric place in the mountains, and it is my favorite place to be reading this book. I'm on chapter 19 of ACOMAF, and there have been so many notable moments. This is gonna have spoilers, so keep that in mind. There's 2 things in particular I want to talk about. The first is when Feyre meets the Inner Circle at the House of Wind. There's something magical in the air about that. I think it's just that she's meeting her family. I just keep hearing The Night We Met by Lord Huron in my mind. And we're also getting the backstory of how all of them met. And I think that's just really beautiful because in our minds, they're this cemented friend group. But when we first meet the Inner Circle, there's still some tension and like some weird vibes and also some angst because Rhys has been gone for 50 years. So they're recovering from that. It's just like a very vulnerable time for the friend group. And Feyre comes in and they welcome her so much. Something that has really stuck out to me today is the moment where Rhys and Feyre are going to talk to the bone carver and they're going to the prison. Feyre takes one look at the mountain and starts to have a panic attack because it reminds her of being under the mountain. Her panic gets so strong that she's like, take me home, and he takes her home and she stays in bed for the rest of the day. That representation is one of the things I love most about Sarah J. Maas. To have that relatable moment of a character who's trying to do something hard and she can't do it because of her mental health. I love it. It's just so validating to like a woman's existence. This is just the found family, honestly. I say that about every found family, but I love them. And we also just got a mention about how the temple at San Graval was attacked, which is a bit of a Gwen Easter egg in the saddest way because we know what happened to her. So I've been thinking about her. I really just want to read all afternoon and sip my dirty chai that I got today and soak it in. I need some escapism and I'm very into this story right now. It's like reading it for the first time. I don't know what it is. This is literally I haven't read the second book as much as the first. So this might be my fourth reread, third or fourth. And it's just hitting like it's the first time. There's something in this book that is so healing. I love it. I forgot to say there's one more thing before we get into the reading, and that is that I got the most exciting package ever. This is from Penguin Random House, and I got an arc of Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. Do you guys feel the aura radiating from this book? It is stunning, and it has this stunning map, and it has this gorgeous artwork on the back cover. I love Olivia. She's such an angel. If you haven't read Fear the Flames, it is about a princess who is trying to win her kingdom back, and she has this connection to dragons. This is pure comfort romantasy. I love the friendships in it. I love the emotions, and this comes out officially on July 29th if you are interested, but the first book is obviously already out, so you can check it out now. I have cried over ACOMAF while listening to music 2 times today already. It is currently Sunday. I don't know about you guys. I feel like this is a pretty universal reader take, but Sundays are for the books. I woke up this morning, I thought, what do I want to do today? And all I wanted was to go to the mountains and read. So I got my iced chai and we're about to drive up there. And once we're there, I'll give some more updates, but seriously, this is heaven. This is bliss. So I'll be going down this steep path and then there's this great spot by the river. I have to give you guys my updates in here because the river will be loud. Also, sorry, the lighting is so green because there's a bunch of trees all around me and the sun's reflecting off of them. You would think I was reading this book for the first time because I am feral. I'm on chapter 49, so we've done Starfall, we've gone to the Hewn City, Feyre's working on her powers, Lucian has come back and tried to take her back, and then she learned to winnow and she had her wings, and then we had the part in the inn with the one bed trope, which the tension is insane. I'm making a TikTok today. You might see me say this there later, but I think it's easy to forget that a lot of these popular romantasy tropes come from ACOMAF because it did all of these things before they had names, before we were like one bed, enemies to lovers, fated mates. I remember reading ACOMAF for the first time and not knowing any of that existed, so everything was just this incredible surprise. But now I think a lot of people look back on ACOTAR and they're like, oh yeah, that's just a classic book talk book, I'm kind of sick of it, whatever, it's so basic. No, it is the blueprint for every romantasy book that you may actually be sick of. I will die on this hill. I'm very protective over ACOTAR. I think it's just got something so special, and it is the series that has brought so many people back into reading, which you have to have a powerful story to get that to happen. As much as I am in heaven with this reread, and I have infinity star feelings, of course, I can't stop thinking about A Court of Silver Flames. The Valkyries are haunting the narrative. Asriel has such aura and such presence in my head right now. I've just been thinking about the fact that we know he sings, and we just have to sit on that information. Do I dare get into Gwynriel right now? I think Gwynriel is so good for me, but so bad for me at the same time. You know when you're watching a sports team and you just want everyone to win? That's how I feel with the ACOTAR fandom. Like, you just want everyone to be happy because obviously it's very split with Elriel and Gwynriel. No matter what happens with Asriel and who he ends up with, half the fandom will be disappointed. It's gonna be crazy. I'm actually kind of nervous. I just hope it's not me who's disappointed because I think I will need extreme therapy. I'm not even kidding if Asriel and Gwen don't end up together. I just feel in my gut that they will, so if they don't, I can't trust myself ever again.
Because I am dramatic.
Yes.
That's a very dramatic thing.
chocolate iced matcha today. I wish I could give it to you. I wish I could share drinks through the screen. Last night I finished ACOTAR, a perfect book. A mesmerizing, mystical, atmospheric dream of a book. And even I forget that sometimes when I'm not reading it. I'm like, oh yeah, I love ACOTAR so much. But when I am reading it, this is more real than my life. My life is fake and I'm so upset that it hurts. It genuinely hurts and I'm not even joking. I think Sarah J. Maas's specialty is to write the arc of a character who is struggling, but then through hardships and pain, they find where they belong in the world and they find the people that they belong to. Infinity Stars, of course. Somebody commented on my Instagram post and asked if I like ACOTAR or Silver Flames better because I was talking about both of them. I actually think ACOTAR is the best book in the original trilogy. I love that book. And when it comes to deciding between ACOTAR and Silver Flames, all bets are off. But as for today, I have got all my work done in the morning and I want to do a reading sprint. I've been doing mini ones. I'm leading up to a longer one. 24-hour reading challenges scare me so bad, but I really want to do it. But I also want to do a 12-hour reading sprint because my friend Abigail has been doing them. I'm not doing that today, but I am going to try to do like a 5-6 hour reading sprint. This is going to have spoilers. I feel like both of these are very well known and well loved, and this one came out over 150 years ago. So that's why. You know what the real theme of this book is? Aging. Ugh. The theme song for Little Women Might As Well Be Nothing New by Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers. Part 2 starts. Everyone is 3 years older. Meg is getting married. Lori's off at college. Beth is still very sick because the fever never fully left her. Amy's almost 16. She's really trying to figure out what she's good at, which is honestly kind of painful to read and relatable. And Jo is feeling very left behind because everybody's kind of moving on and the change is freaking her out. And people keep saying, you're gonna get married next. And she's like, no thank you. And everyone just says like, I know better. You will for sure. And it's so frustrating. In the past, when I have read about Meg and John, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. Young love, she doesn't care that he's poor. This time around, Mr. John Brooke was sending me straight to Ick City. I just feel like he infantilizes her a little bit and she's so young. It's this whole thing that she's so young. He like keeps calling her dear and then she sits on his lap and I just didn't like it. Do you know what I found out? I Googled to see if he ever gets rich for Meg's sake. And he dies, apparently. They're only married for 10 years and then he dies. I'd like to think maybe she gets married again later to someone who's very rich. I want that for her. The last thing I'll say before we get into reading is I found an Amy Laurie fanfic on AO3. Now, I am so picky with fanfiction, with writing, and especially with Amy and Laurie and their characterizations. It is so good. It actually made my whole life. It is called Wonder Under Summer Sky, which is named after a Harry Styles song, and it's a modern day AU where Amy and Laurie are in Europe and falling in love. It's giving people we meet on vacation so much. If you guys like reading fanfic or if you've ever been curious about it, I feel like this would be the perfect way to jump in. I am nothing if not a multitasker, so I'm gonna put the audiobook on, work on a Bookstagram post, and also flip through this fun edition I have. Oh no, my phone dropped and it scared Atlas, my baby. Come on. I have this edition and it has a bunch of handwritten letters and fun add-ins, so I really want to flip through it. I have never flipped through it even though I've owned it for so long. Such a good reading day. I have 100 pages left. My dream is to go on a walk tonight and listen to the audiobook while I finish it. Reading chapter 28 was crazy. It's the one where Meg is starting her life with John. Can't say that chapter has aged well. There's definitely like some good messages in it, but the main message is, how can girlie please her husband? How can she keep house? It is your job to make your husband happy. And coming fresh off of ACOTAR, Mr. John Brooke was giving me Tamlin. Now we are in Europe. Amy is yelling at Laurie. She calls him Lazy Lawrence. She is just ripping into him. I'm like, yay! The happy vibes will not stick around because 100 pages left and tragedy is about to strike. I'm nervous. I'm stressed. Also, watching Jo become a writer is incredible, and it's just so cool how it mirrors reality and the fact that Louisa May Alcott is the Jo variant in her family, and she wrote this book. And in the movie, which I can't remember if this is in the book as well, Jo writes Little Women, which is the book I'm reading. It just like hurts my brain and it's so cool. I'm gonna do a walk and finish this. It's been such a fun era. finished Little Women last night. It was such an amazing experience. It always is, but I was thinking, for me, it's one of those books that I can't reread every year. I think it hits harder if I take a few years in between. I was also thinking that there are outside things that help me enjoy the book to the fullest extent. Of course, Little Women 2019 is the #1 thing. That cast is perfect. And weirdly, this time around, reading that Amy Laurie fan fiction made me enjoy Little Women even more because it just gave them this modern spin and made them even more relatable. I don't think I'll ever finish Little Women and not have tears streaming down my face. And I love how at the end it focuses on Marmee. The same with the movie. It's her birthday. And you know how they bring her the cake in the movie? It all does come back to celebrating women. If it wasn't for her, none of them would exist. I have chills. I don't know. I genuinely wonder how many books back then were celebrating and prioritizing women. Louisa May Alcott did big things for the world. Also, in case you were wondering, in the book, Jo does not become a published writer of the book Little Women. That is something Greta Gerwig added into the movie, and what an amazing addition that is. Sadly, I never got to annotating Heir of Fire. That's okay. For me, Throne of Glass is just a year-round series, but Little Women and ACOTAR are both the month of July, so I had to really fit that in. If I have my way, I'll just be reading Throne of Glass on a constant loop forever and ever, so there will be more content for that. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I had the time of my life. I hope you guys liked watching it. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.